Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you, Brother Nashi? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a woman that is from Zim. So what has brought me to your channel is something that one of my other boyfriend has been planning. He told me that since they have been doing Stockfell, like each and every month, they have been giving each other money like every month. So he is the secretary in that Stockfell. So their idea that they had was that at the end of the year, then they are going to split the money just before we close for the December holidays. And he said that this is supposed to be done in the next coming week. Therefore, I want you to post my story as quickly as possible. This is what my boyfriend has been planning, and I have told him not to do what he has been planning to do. He said, so where am I going to get the money to give you so that you can go and you can give your kids when you go back home? So I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I want money, but I did not expect that the money that he wants to give to me, it is going to be money that he would take from the Stockfell. So his idea was that what he is going to do is that he is going to tell his other members from the same Stockfell club in which he is the secretary that he has been robbed, and therefore I am the one that is supposed to look for someone. I have this other cousin brother of mine who was a gangster. He's still a gangster because in their club, once you get into that gangster, I can't tell you the name of that gangster club. Once you get in, you only go out when you die. So he wants me to speak with my brother so that he can organize people that are going to do a fake robbery, and my brother is more than capable of doing this. But what has been stopping me from approaching my brother so that I can tell him that there is a deal, and this is what my boyfriend is telling me to tell him. What has been stopping me ever since is that my brother, he had been arrested. He has been in South Africa and he has been in prison for most of his time. As I'm speaking with you right now, he came out of prison after serving 7 years in prison. When he came out, he cried and he said that, sister, even though I cannot go outside of the gang, because if I leave the gang, then they either kill you and some of my relatives that are based here in South Africa. So he keeps on being part of the gang, and he said that he is now going to church every Sunday. He does go to church, but it is a white garment prophet church, but it is better because he is no longer doing what he used to do. He does not touch beer anymore, and he does not smoke anymore. So he's saying that slowly but surely I'm going to find a way to get out of the gang system, even though they will threaten him that as long as your relatives are here in South Africa, we will find them one by one and we are going to shoot them. But he said that he does not want to be in that lifestyle anymore, which has brought me to your channel. Am I supposed to tell my brother that this is the deal that is there, or I'm not supposed to get him involved in all of this? When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to assist him in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Can you imagine a brother has been in prison for a very long time, and now she wants to tell him that there is this other deal that he can get involved in, and it is a deal that he can make some money, but she is not so sure about this, what she wants to tell her brother. Let us try to assist our dear sister in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. The message that was sent to me, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? I am a man that is aged 33 years old, and I have been staying here in South Africa for some time now. I have a lot of friends who are South African who has been telling me that they want to get rich. Some of them, they do not have money, but the person that has made me to become interested is saying that he can offer me one of his vehicles. He told me that there is something that is wrong with his company and he is owing a lot of money, and he did not tell me the money that he's owing. I asked him and I said, how about you just sell the car that you want to give to me and then you pay off the money that you are owing? He then laughed and he said that the money that I am owing, it is not even quarter of that car. Even if I sell it, I'm not going to be able to pay even quarter of the amount that I am owing. And the car that he said that he wants to give to me, it is a Ford Ranger. It is a 13 model, 2013. So I don't know how much he is owing the people that he said that they are very dangerous and they want their money very soon. They have since started telling him that they need their money. So he has told me that if I can successfully go with him to Zim and he comes back with a Tokolo, she does not care, he said, anymore, even if it means that I have to sacrifice my daughter. As long as I am able to survive this, it is far much better. So he has been putting me into a lot of temptations. In the village from where I come from, there is one such old lady that I have witnessed people coming to her shrine, and they usually come at our house asking for this woman. So our house is the first one in the village where we are staying. So most of the people, they get off from their car and then they asked us where this traditional healer is staying. There was even one family that once came from Zambia. They wanted to get some cure for their daughter who was also sick. So I am under a lot of temptation to go with this man to Zim, not knowing if it is going to work or not. And the other thing that has been stopping me, my mother used to tell me to never make a mistake to go to a traditional healer and to ask for charms that will give you money. My grandmother, who was her mother, she was a well-known witch doctor. She died, according to my mom, she died after she had tried to fight with this other pastor who had came to do a crusade in the village where she grew up, and she went to curse that pastor, and there was lightning that struck her down. So from there on, the whole family, they then converted to Christianity because they said that this God is much more powerful than our own God. So with the stories that my mom used to tell me, that the things that she witnessed when she was growing up, I am hesitant to go with this man to a traditional healer. I do not want to get involved in all of these rituals, things that my mother told me to never do in my life. My mom used to say that it is far much better that you go to bed on a hungry stomach than for you to go and seek help from a witch doctor who will give you charms that are dangerous. And these are the charms that this man is saying that he wants. I need advice from your listeners. I want this car and I can sell it for a better price back home in Zim, since SA made Ford Rangers are more expensive in Zim than the ex-Japanese ones. So I can make a killing with this. I can even start my own business. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear brother in the comment section. Must he go to Zim with this South African man? How much might he be owing if he's saying that a Ford Ranger 2013, which is still in good condition, it is not enough to pay off even the quarter of the amount that he is owing? So he wants to give this money to our this car to our Zimbabwean brother? How much money do you think that this man might be owing? Let us talk about this in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I want to tell you all the things that we do when we are in the marine kingdom. How are you? I have come across your page. I've been looking for the page, but I could not get it. Yesterday, I was listening to one of these other confession that you were reading, and then I just felt it in my heart that I am supposed to share with you my own story, and this is my story. The name that I'm going to be using, as you can see here on my account, it is Monica, but that is not my real name. It is just one of my fake accounts that I use. I am a woman that is aged 19 years old. As I am sending you this confession of mine, I'm not even sure about the things that I want to do. I am even scared to send you this confession because the things that I have seen, the things that I do, most of the girls of my own age, they'll never even attempt to get involved in the things that I do. I do come from a village in Mondoro. I came to Harare with this other best friend of mine who used to work also here in Harare as a maid. So growing up, life was very difficult in the villages. I used to herd people's cattle in the village, and I would go to school without any shoes, nothing. And I did not feel nice at all, knowing that some of the girls that I was in school with, they would wear their complete uniform, yet I did not have anything at all. So I stopped going to school and I started to work, and I would herd people's cattle in our village. My mom then said it is not okay for a young girl like this to spend most of her time in the mountains with boys, as we were herding the cattle. She was afraid that maybe I'll end up being impregnated by some of the guys that I used to herd cattle with. So my mom then spoke with Grace's mother, who became my friend because Grace had already been working in Harare as a maid. So I then agreed, and me and Grace, we then left the village after she had came for her off days, and we started to work in Norton. So I was working as a maid, and close to the place where I was staying, there was this other woman whom I'll call my Mangwiro. This woman, she had started her own church, a white garment church. She was staying right next door to where I was staying. I then spoke with Grace and I said, but we grew up in the Pentecostal church in AFM. And Grace said that there is no God there. I want to do something with my life that will be quick. At that time, I did not even know about these marine spirits. Yes, of course, I had heard about it in the villages. There was this other woman who used to brag about all the powers that she had going underneath the water to get some herbs that she was using. But I never believed that woman. Even whenever she would try to tell me about the marine spirits, I'll just ignore her because I saw it as a strategy for her to get a lot of customers. When we arrived in Norton, I was 16 years at that time, and I was working for this other woman whom I will call Mama Sharon. She was someone that was okay. She was another rich man's mistress. Most of the time, she was never at home. She told me that I was supposed to perform my duties even though she was not around, which I did anyway, just like she had instructed me to do, to cook and to look after a child, because a child was very young. And then that was when I started to go to the white garment church, because Grace kept on telling me that we need to go to that church. This other day, when I was fast asleep, I then received a phone call. It was around 1 a.m. and it was from my Mangwero, who said, Monica, I want you to get up and I want you to wear the clothes that you bought when you started to come to my church. When I started to attend her church, she had told me that I was supposed to buy a white dress, a white t-shirt, a white bra, and a white panty, and white socks and white shoes as well. And she told me to wear them, and I was supposed to come to her place. She told me that as for Grace, she had tried to get hold of Grace on her phone, but she was not available. So then I got up and then I arrived at her house, which was just next door. When I got there, that was when she tied my head with a white scarf, which I could not understand why she was doing all of these things. We then started walking. First, we got into the vehicle, and then we drove for a couple of kilometers. Then we got off from the vehicle. We then went into the bushes, and there were a lot of women that were there. Some of them, they had came from Cape Town. There were Zimbabweans that were staying in Cape Town, so their charms for the marine spirits, they had expired, so they wanted to do a renewal of their charms. We started walking, and then she told me that I was not supposed to be afraid, for I was the one that was supposed to assist her on that day. So she was holding 6 clay plates, and I would give him one by one as she was baptizing all of those women that were with us. We were standing in this other river, and I would count until 6 was done. Then another woman would come, and then she would baptize that woman. Before we had left that river, she then said that I was supposed to be baptized and to be cleansed as well, because if I would get out of the water without being cleansed, then all of those women that she had baptized, they were going to give me their bad luck. So then I was baptized. The moment that she started baptizing me, that was when, Brother Nashi, I found myself underneath the water. I was so scared that I was going to die. And then I had a voice that told me to stop fighting with the water, for the water was like a friend to me. It was not there to harm me, and I was supposed to stop breathing. To stop breathing, it meant that I was going to die, and I kept on fighting. I then saw that the woman that I was with, including those that had came to be prayed for by her, they were also there with me underneath the water. They were so happy swimming with the fish underneath the water. The voice repeated, and it said to me, Monica, you need to stop breathing because